The International Assistance Viewer is a web mapping application developed by the Spitballz team from Waterloo, Ontario. We took some data, some CSV files from the data.gc.ca site, and we put it onto a map. We think the patterns were actually pretty interesting, what we came up with on this. In the early stages of this timeline, the data was available from 2001 to 2012. We were kind of surprised to see that there was a high amount of dollars that were actually going to Poland. We weren't expecting that. As you move forward in time, you might have expected in the middle of this time frame to see more dollars going to places like Afghanistan, Iraq, Ethiopia. And you can see that fairly clearly on the map as we just sort of pan around through the years and look at the information. It was also interesting to us to sort of see this pattern of, as we move from 2011 up to 2012, the dollars are really starting to concentrate in Eastern Africa, parts of Asia and Southeast Asia. Of course, you'd kind of expect that we could look for Afghanistan, and you kind of expect to see a lot of dollars that have gone to Afghanistan over that time period. In addition to looking at the basic amount of dollars that have gone by year, we can also do things like look at the ranking. So in this particular case, the dollars that went to Afghanistan in that year, it was 11th overall out of a total of about 2,000 records that are in the database. We can also look at nearby countries and see in particular years how spending to those different countries, how the patterns have changed over time, and see what happened in those nearby countries. You can see the dollar amounts are actually quite a bit lower than the dollars that were going to Afghanistan. We can also take a look at places. Another place that we all know about over time is Haiti. So of course Haiti has had a number of issues, particularly some natural disasters, and you can see the dollars are much higher. Canada was a major contributor to this country in that time frame. And there are also other ones that we were kind of surprised by, like India, for example, has a major negative year. If we double check the data, and there's negative 352 million one year. So we found lots of interesting patterns in the data just by looking at this, and we think it actually presented a very interesting picture of Canadian international spending and aid, and it was very interesting to us, and we think it actually might help to create better public awareness around some of these situations and maybe even support decision making and better understanding of trends that have been going on. If you want to see some more detail about the app, you can just click on the About dialog here, and you can actually see a bit of information about what we were working on. And thanks a lot for checking out our viewer, and hopefully we'll hear from you.